Hi guys, Mark here. Thank you very much for joining me. In this tutorial, we're going to be making a rather simple rope dog leash made out of a single piece of rope. The main technique used today is the cat's paw splice. Here we have an example of this sort of a leash. On one side of our rope, a snap hook is strapped into place using a cat's paw splice. Then, the end of your rope is secured into place using a rope seizing. On the other side, where we have our handle, we have a similar arrangement. So a handle is strapped into place using a cat's paw splice. Then, the end of the rope is secured into place using a rope seizing. A piece of rope is going to be our main supply. You can use artificial ropes or natural ones. The diameter here is about 5/16 of an inch. This is twisted rope, which we need so that we can do our cat's paw splice. The length of your rope should be 6 feet for a 4-foot leash. So basically, the length of your leash plus 2 feet. Next, you're going to need a piece of hardware, a snap hook or a carabiner. Thread, as well as a needle, are going to be used for our rope seizings. Finally, scissors and a lighter are going to help us with our cutting and melting tasks. Let's begin. Before we begin our project, let's take a look at how to do the cat's paw splice. At some point in your rope, you're going to unlay the twist in your rope with one hand twisting away from you and the other twisting towards you. So you unlay your rope, then push the two sides together, which is going to form 3 loops. Now you can do a bit more unlaying until you get 3 nicely formed loops. Line them up. So as you can see, they naturally follow one another. Then you feed the end of your rope through the 3 loops. So this is the essential technique behind the cat's paw splice. I'm going to start my leash on one side of my rope. Feed half a foot through the snap hook. Fold the short end like this. So the short end is half a foot long. Right next to the snap hook, create 3 loops. Line them up, one next to the other. Then, feed the long end through the 3 loops. This locks your snap hook into place. For aesthetic as well as security reasons, we're going to repeat our splice here on the long end as well. So again, we unlay our rope, creating 3 loops. Line them up, one next to the other. Then push the short end through the 3 loops. So we've done one side, the one at the snap hook. We continue our tying on the other side of our rope. Measure half a foot. At the half foot mark, create 3 loops. These loops should be quite big. So when you have your 3 loops ready, take the other end, which is quite bulky, and feed it through the loops, 1 loop at a time. So through the first loop, through the second loop, through the final loop, like this. Now pull, creating your handle. So adjust the size of your handle here. Then we're going to make another set of loops, this time on our long end. So here we again unravel the lay of our rope, creating 3 loops. Line them up, one next to the other. Feed your short end through the 3 loops. Make sure that everything looks nice, so bring everything together. So something like this. At this point, we're going to finish up our leash with a couple of rope seizings. For my seizing, I'm going to prepare a piece of thread, in my case 4 feet long. I'm going to thread a needle, and I'm ready to do my seizing. To do my seizing, I'm going to take the other end of my thread and secure it onto this short end, in my case using a clove hitch. So I make a loop, I make a second loop, place the second loop over the first one, then slide both loops over my short end. Tighten up, then continue with a series of wrapping turns around the 2 strands here. Also wrap around the short end, locking it into place. When you have a good number of turns around your two strands, come up in between your two strands to the right of your wrapping turns, across them, down on the left. Again, up on the right, with your strand going below your first pass here, across your wrapping turns, down to the bottom, up on the right. Next, we pass under our bottom strand here, across our two horizontal strands, so over two, then under the top strand. Tighten up. Optionally, move to the other side and repeat. So, under the bottom strand, across the two horizontal strands, so over two, then under the top strand. Tighten up. Trim the two ends. Melt them. Repeat on the other side. With the two seizings done, trim the two short ends a distance away from your seizings, just to make sure that the rope doesn't slip out of your seizing. So something like this. With that, your project is complete. And that's our project for today. Thank you for joining me and see you next time.